Welcome to Deep Thought. Media directs the conversation. Now, as y'all know, Deep Thought isn't so much about a spiritual path. It's about getting you to think. And one of the things is thinking holistically, looking at everything. I wanted to talk about media and how it directs the conversation, how it controls the narrative of what we see and don't see. Now, on my car video yesterday on my main channel, I talked about Happy Nappy Day. And I talked about all the love that people show. A bunch of black people, overwhelmingly black. Saw a few whites sprinkled in, but it was primarily black people. There was no problems. There was no issues. Everybody, it was nothing but love. You had black people of different religious backgrounds, different social economic backgrounds, getting along great, getting along perfectly. But you probably wouldn't see it. You probably wouldn't see this scene on the 6 o'clock news, or it probably wouldn't be a video of this going viral. But contrast that to something recent that happened at Disneyland with just a few black people fighting, a few. And of course, you have people who will look at that and say, "Boom," but that's the media. They'll say, "Oh yeah, look at them." That's the media. And in this day and age, media, it's not just the mainstream news organs, though they very responsible for it, but also social media. How often does, even on social media, how often do they talk about the positive aspects? I mean, people share the stuff, but how many hits do they get? If you get someone saying, "Hey, these kids are doing well in school, they got scholarships," yeah, they get some hits. Oh yeah, clap, clap, heart emoji, way to go, attaboy, all that stuff. But then if you show a bunch of people fighting, shoot, that thing go viral and everybody complain. And that's just social media. Mainstream media, of course, they're going to do it. See, the thing about mainstream media overall, and actually social media is actually is almost a resistance to it, but it hasn't quite happened that way. Mainstream media still sets the conversation, still steers it, because one, it's the editors, it's the publishers, it's the directors, the producers who figure out what's going to be shown and not shown. And remember, you have two reasons, two main objectives they have. One is to make money. Now, the positive image of some black people gathered together through a festival, also promoting natural hair, doesn't make a lot of money. One, a lot of there's no real major hair company that specializes in natural hair. Now you got major companies that come into it, and they'll get a division, but that's not their main thing. They still selling the creamy crack and all of that. So they ain't making money off of that. They ain't gonna want to see it. They ain't gonna advertise during a news show. And then a lot of people are not gonna really watch that, or even if people ain't gonna watch something talking about that. And because when I said the money thing, all these news shows make money. I remember an exercise a dear teacher at my high school did. He was a very popular teacher. Unfortunately, he was killed in an auto accident years ago. Really affected the entire community. But one of the assignments he gave us was to watch the ABC Evening News, but not watch the actual news itself. Our specific assignment was to watch the advertising, the commercials. And the lesson there was not so much what commercials were on, but to understand how much news, the media, is moved by money. People want advertisers, like if you put news on of some negative stuff or people behaving badly, people want to watch it. People going to pay attention to it. And then because they paying attention to it, advertisers going to like, oh, they showing all this bad stuff. People watching it. Let me get my commercial in there. Let me get my commercial in there. And it could be some negative, crazy stuff. Even on YouTube. Even on YouTube. Now that's more the social media thing, but of course these videos come with advertisements. Now every now and then I have to like click a certain button because I see a little icon on my video that says this video might not be suitable for certain advertisers. Now here's the funny thing. If they say that for, I've had that non-suitable thing on some of my most positive videos. I want y'all to think about that. Now, if it said, well, it's not suitable for major advertisers for a video, I'm talking about sex or something, I'm like, okay, appeal the decision. Oh, I always appeal it, but I noticed like on some of my Sunday videos, I watch my Sunday videos, I know those are like, not controversial or anything. It's just pure inspiration. But I've had like, oh, this video might not be suitable. I'm like, wait a minute. And I've also noticed to get that on something, I'm talking about something more serious than relationships. It don't sell as well. But I guarantee if I'm trashing a gender, like just say hypothetically, I'd say I'm gonna do a video trashing women. I guarantee it don't get touched. And I've even gone back in the past and I looked at some of the videos that could be construed as attacking women, just construed, like, that's not my thing, but just construed that way. I was like, wait a minute, they ain't say anything about this, but then I talk about something positive or some serious issue, all of a sudden it's an issue. But that's because of the money. But then it also directs the conversation because of propaganda. Once again, using the example of Happy Nappy Day and the Disney thing, many people want to believe the propaganda of black people behaving badly. And instead of showing the counter propaganda or counter images of black people just getting along. Understand what the media is. See, the media, there's 3 great shapers of human behavior in this society. 3 great ones. Everything else is minor, secondary, or a part of the 3 great ones. One is religion. That shapes behavior. Whatever spiritual path you follow, that's going to shape it. In fact, if I had motivation and thought I could make money off of it, I could make a connection between how people vote, where they live, how they spend their money, and their religion. Because it's all connected. I'm going to talk about everything connected on a future video this week, Thursday probably. But religion, education, the education system, particularly in this country, is about propaganda. Most of the stuff you're going to learn doesn't have anything to do with anything in life. The reality is history, anything beyond reading and arithmetic is propaganda. Really, it is. Even science in some cases, it's propaganda. People don't really need to know the history of something. That's pure propaganda right there. They don't need to know the history of the country. That should be an elective for someone who's interested. Because I was a history major, so I was definitely interested. Fun classes, but everything else, beyond the ability to be literate, like English class is necessary, or whatever country that you're in. How to read, write, arithmetic, basic stuff. And that's another video. I was going to say they need to teach you how to write a checkbook and all that stuff too. But, it's mainly propaganda, but it's also going to shape the way you think and look at things. And then the third major thing is media. What images do they show? Like, if you pay the right people, you can get people to, or have the right news stories or whatever, you can affect elections and everything because the media affects perceptions. The media affects perceptions. So it's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing. You really need to look at all of those things, but particularly the media. If there's a perception of someone that looks like me, not being able to talk about these type of topics. If that was generally put out there by the media, shit, I'd have 100 subs on here. Understand, that's how powerful it is. It can be used, especially the propaganda part, to demonize a people. And then when people, like, that makes it hard. I mean, and that has an effect on the criminal justice system and jobs, everything. But I want y'all to just think about those things. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Think on this. Peace and blessings.